Call it the bedrock. Call it the foundation. With our system of government, a constitutional republic based on the principles of freedom and democracy, the key to that, not just surviving but thriving, is to have each succeeding generation have enough education, enough learning. Try to imagine a United States of America where you don't have a public school system, and indeed a strong public school system. I think it's unimaginable, it should be unimaginable, that we could have that kind of country.
Dan Rather, CBS News, with the 25th Division, South Vietnam.
My assistant called this morning at 6 o'clock. He said, "Good morning. Nelson Mandela's already been up for 2 hours."
The leader of the African National Congress is almost certain to be elected president of this country.
For the CBS Evening News, Dan Rather reporting. Good night.
What does it mean to you to be a public school student in here near the last part of the second decade of the 21st century?
So I think being a public school student, I think it definitely looks different than maybe we have looked in the past. It's allowed me to explore different interests that I didn't necessarily know I might have. So on top of the 4 things that every student learns, being a public school student has allowed me to pursue interest in whatever the school has to offer.
Let's pretend that we're in the state capitol and you're talking to a state legislator, maybe a member of the Texas House, maybe a member of the Texas Senate. Talk to me as you might talk to that person about public schools.
I think that when you have these institutions of learning and you treat them as secondary or you treat them as something that is not at the top of your agenda, you've lost the sense of what it means to believe in the American dream. And so as idealistic as that sounds, education is at the core of what we believe in as people.
Name me 1 or 2 of the things you think that need to be improved for the future.
I think we need to have a way to encourage people to become teachers, because when we have good teachers, we have good students that grow up to be great citizens. And I think another thing that needs to be worked on is we do need to make sure that our education system is reflective of the values that we have to accommodate people who are new to our country.
Heights High is a good example of this. That in public school, by and large, there's a richer mix of racial differences, ethnic differences, religious differences. Well, that's one of the strengths of public schools.
Public schools are this state and this country's breeding ground for the next generation of leaders.
What do I hope for Emily's future? First of all, I hope she doesn't lose that smile, and I hope that you'll find a way to contribute to the health and well-being of our beloved United States of America.
In a time where we have so many different voices in the country, you have to be able to preserve the one thing that will teach them how to use that voice, and that's public education.